There was so much marijuana on Chokoloskee bales that there was no more place to put it. Every house that would hold it, every van, every car, every truck that we used to move it in was full. We had to take the boats and hide them up in creeks because it was just so much of it. Unbelievable. Unreal.
Give me that mic. Steve Markley, a legend in the Everglades. Steve's the kind of guy you'd love to go fishing with. A big, loud, boisterous guy who grew up in a modest home on Chokoloskee Island, a small spit of land off the southern coast of Florida, right on the edge of the Everglades. Now I say Everglades, you've probably heard of the Outlaws of the Everglades. A group of men on this island smuggled in millions of dollars of pot onto that coast in the 70s and 80s. At the time, it was the biggest smuggling operation in Florida history. Steve Markley was part of that pot smuggling ring, along with his former friends. There's Kent Daniels, who called himself the ringleader. There's Dave Sheely, the skunk ape hunter who was the group's lookout. Most of the men who did the pot smuggling served time, including Steve. Today, Steve leads tours out on the Everglades, where he takes groups out in the swamps, talks about nature and the history of the area. But he's been slowing down lately. He has some health concerns, he's getting a little older, and he doesn't know how much longer he can continue to give tours on that buggy. But let's back up to the beginning, back to Chokoloskee, before almost everyone else was up. I like honey in my coffee.
Starbucks French roast.
Looks
Dark. Come on, I gotta use the bathroom. You're messing up my normal morning ritual by hanging out there for an hour.
So what's a typical morning for you, Steve?
I'm starting it. Drink a cup of coffee. Make a good cup of coffee. Where the hell's it at? About had that shit. There was a whole. Oh, it is. Excuse my French. Excuse my French. I gotta have my half and half. And my palmetto honey.
Oh, the man on his recliner.
Yeah, my morning ritual. I don't know why I'm. You know, when you tell somebody you're going to be up early, don't worry about it. Then you don't get up early. But now, if we wouldn't have had this planned, I'd have been up at 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? Out of there is called Subutex, and it's a pill that keeps your body from wanting pain pills. I'm gonna break myself off of them too and be drug-free completely.
Drug-free Steve.
Yeah. I don't drink. I don't smoke weed, which I don't have nothing against neither one of it. Drinking or smoking weed. It's up to each individual. If I want a drink, I'll have a drink. If I want a beer, I'll have a beer. If I want to smoke pot, I'll smoke pot. But I don't. So, yeah, I'm going to be drug-free. I'm going to get healthy. Healthier. I'm pretty healthy. I've lost at least 125 pounds. At least. Maybe 130. And, but with the Alzheimer's, you know, I'm going to really try to get myself real healthy as I can get.
Yeah, it's funny that you say you've never smoked pot, but you were a drug runner for marijuana.
Yeah, I wasn't a pot smoker, but my daughter's trying to get that golf cart going. It ain't working. Batteries are dead. She wanted to go for a ride. But we hauled millions of pounds of it, and I never smoked it. Some of the guys did. And you can get all you wanted. You can get 10 pounds of it. They didn't care. Cut a bell open and scrape you out 10 pounds of it if you wanted. But it was, compared to today's marijuana, I have smoked weed now. I take a hit or something. I haven't in a long time, but I do if I want to. But compared to what's out there today, it was junk. It was, I can't believe we even sold that junk. But back then they didn't have it, the sticky stuff, like it is today. We sold, it was about $325 a pound. We sold a lot of it. Sometimes they'd give it to us in pay, if you wanted it in pay, you could get it. And I had my cousin and stuff, he would come and get it and take it and make a little extra money for himself. But there was so much of it. Ours was the largest group. I say that, I'm pretty sure we were about 30 of us that was involved in a family, all of us family. Not real, some of us just cousins and stuff like that, but all family. And there was 2 other groups down here that smuggled too. You was talking to Ramona? Her husband was one of them. They called him Little Man, and he was he was a big smuggler too. And sometimes we worked together. I remember one night, there was 3 good crews of us that worked. That was our big workers, One night, all of us was working. There was so much marijuana on Chokoloskee bales that there was no more place to put it. Every house that would hold it, every van, every car, every truck that we used to move it in was full. We had to take the boats and hide them up in creeks because it was just so much of it. Unbelievable, unreal. Like shuttles back and forth out there getting it and bringing it in, getting it, coming in. Yeah, it was a lot of weed. It was a long, long period of my life. A lot of money. Everybody had money. Everybody. It was, and I always give away a lot of money. It was a lot of fun for me helping people and giving people stuff. And you had so much of it, you didn't think about $5 grand. $5 to some people is a lot of money. Back then, especially back in the 80s, even today's a lot of money. I lived on it for a while. My wife did 2 years. Yeah. While I was in prison, she had let her brother-in-law use the van. We had a customized van, with the bed in the back and it like chairs all in it and stuff. You know what I'm talking about, the high top. He come to her and said, real piece of crap, real no good son of a bitch. Come to her, Jeff Pollard's his name, and come to her and said, let me use your van. If nothing's going on, everything's good, don't worry about it. She's thinking, well, I can make a little extra money, 10 grand or something. Really, it wasn't, everything wasn't cool. Everything was, the reason they needed her van was because the law knew that a load had come in and they were looking for it, see? So she didn't know that. So she let him use the van. So they backed it up, loaded it full, and got scared and left it there. So the cops come by and shined in the window and could see the bales and busted it. So then down a few years down the road, they arrested her. He snitched her out. Told on his own sister-in-law, a woman. What a piece of crap, And she did 2 years.
Who is they? You're like, they were sending it out.
We dealt through the Cubans who knew the guys in Colombia. So the Cubans, some of them were married to Colombian, their wife were Colombian, and they dealt with the Colombians. So They would set it up in Colombia. We would send, or they would send, a shrimp boat. They, the Cubans that the Daryl and them dealt with, would send a shrimp boat to Colombia, and it would pick up between 20 and 30, 40, 50,000 pounds. And then it would come over here, and then we would meet it offshore 2 or 3 miles in smaller boats and bring it into the island. And then we would disperse it on the island. That was our job, to get it into the island, you know, get it to the Miami. A lot of times most of the times it went to Homestead over there to wherever they wanted it to go, you know, in the farming districts over there. And then they dispersed it, and then they would call us to come pick up the money. Now, I knew some of them because I would ride over with Daryl and help pick up the money, the cash to pay to people. They would pay Daryl for the job, and I met them, the good people. And that's how it come around, you know. And I know our crew, Daryl and Randall, or Daryl mainly, they didn't never screw nobody, you know. We never snitched on nobody. We had 2 guys, Leon and Levi. They done all the telling. They got scared. One of them got arrested driving a truck of mine full of weed. They stopped him and busted him, and he went to crying like a little baby and told on everybody. And we didn't know it, you know. We didn't know he was working for the government. He would have got 2 or 3 years and went on and done time, and we'd have took care of his family. You know, Daryl and them would have took care of his family. He wouldn't have had to worry while he was in there. Done easy time. All the money he wanted to spend, but he got scared. The feds scared him, and he started bringing over some U.S. Customs or DEA agents over here. Hey, these are my friends. I'm selling them weed, and they kind of eased in on the edge of it, and they would buy 1,000 pounds or 500 pounds, and he would. Every time we would do a job, he would report to them that we were doing it, how much it was, and they were writing it all down till finally they figured, okay, enough's enough. And that's when they indicted us all.
And you said the day you guys got in trouble, you figured it was coming eventually. How did that go down that day?
Well, just a line of cars come down here and picked everybody up. They didn't arrest all of us at one time. That first go around, I don't know how they pick and choose, but I used to work for the sheriff's department, so automatically they arrested me. I quit the sheriff's department. Before I ever smuggled, I was not working for the sheriff's department. You know, I wasn't taking the payoffs or nothing. When I worked for the sheriff's department, I was clean as can be. And I quit, and then I smuggled. I wasn't, you know, I want to make sure people know that I wasn't a dirty cop. I wasn't actually, I worked for the radio room. I was a radio operator. I was hired in Louisiana. I was moving out of here because I knew the smuggling, that I was afraid I was going to get involved in it. You know, I had a job in Louisiana on the police department on I believe it was Grand Isle or Leeville. Anyway, a little police department. I had the job. I had the badge, everything. I went out there and spent a week. I rode with them, and I was just asked if I wanted to make a little extra money to go on, and I did. And when I got that first check, the first bag of money, I said, I ain't going out there risking my life for 13 grand a year. I just made 10 grand. I didn't do nothing. So that's where my smuggling started. You just don't see areas like that. Look how pretty that is. We're in God's country. We're in God's country. No, I ain't no buggy.
What are we doing, Steve? What are we about to do here?
Well, I'm getting ready to go take you and show you the Everglades.
All right. Give it to me, guys.
What up? We're out on a small buggy tour on the Everglades. Test the... Can I see that?
I got a warmed old girl up. Get my captain's hat on.
How fast does this thing go, Steve?
You know, it's a Toyota little 4-cylinder running to a 4-to-1 gearbox, so 25 maybe.
Yeah.
And that's fast. It's not made for speed. It's made for gears, you know, going slow. You get these old big tires and a foot of mud, you know, you got to have some gears to pull them.
Is there any other place you'd rather be than out here, Steve?
No, unless it's with my kids.
That wasn't the enthusiastic answer I was looking for.
Ask me again.
Is there any other place you'd rather be? Is this your favorite place in the world?
My favorite place. This is where I come, and this is the truth. Whenever I get feeling down and out, this is where I come. This is my place. This is my heart, is in the woods, in the swamp, in the Everglades, in the Big Cypress. It's a restful, peaceful, you're gonna see. It's a peaceful place.
You got a lot of scars. You got a lot of stories to tell, don't you?
Yeah, I got a lot of scars. A lot of scars. Look at my hands, how ate up they are. Scars on my... My arms are riddled with scars. When you get older, all the scars you got as a kid show up. You know, they show up as white spots. I wish I'd have known that growing up.
This is almost, I've never been to Africa, but this would be what I would think of Africa.
I get a lot of people say that. I've had Europeans come that's been to Africa that say, I've had people from Africa tell me that this reminds them of home. Maybe the Serengeti or something. The big open plains and stuff is what it is. The only thing, we don't have lions and tigers attacking us. They always say if I seen a giraffe out there picking out of one of the trees, it would remind me of home. Blood pressure. Well, I'm going to take you for a walk out into this prairie and show you the old remnants of the train track. And I didn't bring a ladder, so I hope you don't need it.
What's the weirdest, oddest shit you've ever seen out here, Steve?
I've seen some weird stuff. I was coming in one night I started early in the morning. I had a guy break down on a side-by-side on Concho Billy Trail. And 4 miles, took hours to go down it, to get out. I got out 7 in the morning. We didn't get out till 10, 11 o'clock at night. The boy that was with me, he rode with the guys in the side-by-side. They fixed it. I was by myself. And I was coming down this road, and this is no joke. And I seen a man standing off in the woods, bushes this high, pointed ears, no clothes on, bald-headed. Now I just went by, like, you know, pew. So I'm thinking, okay, I didn't see that. About a mile down the road, seen it again. Yeah. So I called the head ranger at the time, Mike, and I told Mike what I seen. He said, Steve, you're gonna be, he said, I've been getting reports, I've been seeing a lot of bare footprints, people barefooted out there in the woods. So yes, I believe you. Yeah, that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've seen some weird and heard some weird stuff. That was the weirdest. You asked the weirdest, that was it.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
That's very weird.
That's some alien shit.
Look at the sun going down. Look at the rain clouds over there. Look, you just don't see areas like that. Look how pretty that is. We're in God's country. We're in God's country. Really are. where I went at federal prison had a hell of a gym. Hell of a gym.
You were how long were you in prison for, Steve?
I was in for smuggling marijuana. We had the largest marijuana smuggling operation in Florida. Our family, there's 30 of us that went to prison. We hauled millions of pounds of marijuana, yeah. And there's books coming out about it. There's plenty of stuff you see online and stuff about it. Don't believe it all. Believe me, I'm coming out with the real story. It's going to be all real stuff, no made up, no fake stuff, no cows falling off ships and stuff. We're going to talk about what really happens, being chased by them and all that. A lot of fun. Yeah, I did 5 years in federal prison for marijuana smuggling, and then I got out of jail and got caught with a 30-30 rifle and had a felon in possession of a firearm and did another 5. That was the worst time of my life. And people said, would you do it again? No. I'm just 10 years I was away from my kids. And I got my son, my oldest son's been dead now for 4 years. And I wish I could bring that time back because I miss him every day. It's rough. Real rough. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, let's
because
talk
people
about...
in the Everglades where I come from, they love to jump. They love to jump on your stuff. You know, there wasn't ever a buggy tour out here. I got it. Everybody wanted to do it. Everybody. I had 3 other guys that work for me go into buggy business. All of them's out of business because they don't got their hands that look like mine. They pay $120 an hour. Look at the scars and bruises from working on buggies. But that's my new attack. I don't know why. I wanted an arrow on my arm for years. I wanted that arrow. It just, you know, you get something on your mind. And one day I ran by a tattoo place and I stopped in there. I was in the post office one day and we was talking about it. And I said, I want an arrow on my arm. I was telling a girl, she goes like this. I said, yeah, I took a picture of it. I said, exactly like that. She said, I don't know why I did it either. Some mind thing from outer space. Get an arrow on your arm.
Probably after you saw that alien.
Yeah, it was.
When do you think you're ever gonna stop coming out here in the swamps and doing the buggy tours and being part of this environment, Steve? Ever?
Well, kind of got some bad news. I've been having a problem remembering. I went to the doctor and was telling her about it. And I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So I got to go see a specialist. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do it. My daughter is going to take over. We won't keep it in the family. But I've been having a problem remembering now for 2 or 3 years. And I got to go see a specialist. So I talked to the doctor this morning, thinking maybe it was some of my medication I take. I had blood pressure medicine stuff. She said, nah, you got them plaquelets or something in your brain. It's definitely Alzheimer's. So that sucks. My daughter's pregnant and having a baby. I was real excited about, still so excited about that. I want to spend some time with it because I raised my daughter from a newborn. And I wanted to be able to help with the raising of that one. She got a good man for a boyfriend, but to be married. But I just really was looking forward to that and my handicap. I want to see it. I want to see it, a little baby, and I want to see my handicap buggy finished. And then, you know what? The good Lord can take me because I'm looking forward to it because I get to see my son again. If you're a Christian and you believe in what they've taught us since we were a kid, you know, I really believe that I'll see my son again. So dying don't scare me. Leaving my kids, leaving my daughter. My boys are doing okay, but leaving my daughter, I'd like to see her in a real good position before I go. Learn about the business as much. She's been out here on the buggy since she was a little kid, but that's what bothers me the most. Oh well, let's get in a better mood and go for a ride.
Yeah, get up there, Nick. I want to get both of you.
Yeah, I'll let you drive it. It's
Oh, we got
all
some-
hydraulic steering. I catch myself walking like this a lot. I gotta straighten up when I
I
walk.
say that too. I
It's got
now.
plants and animals that live and grow no other place in the world. It's the only Everglades, the only place in the world that has crocodiles and alligators.
And what else? What
Well,
might we see? Skunk
you
apes?
can. I don't know about that.
Panthers?
Panthers, bear, deer, rabbits, coons, raccoons, possums, armadillos, turtles, alligators. You're in the Everglades. What can you see in the Everglades? You can hear rain.
yeah. I was like, I felt it a little bit, and then
That buggy out there, the green one, if you had the deer that were hanging off of it, I've killed more deer, we've killed more deer than you've probably ever seen. We ate them. We ate them. We killed deer, loggerhead turtle, manatees, hogs, anything we could kill that we could eat. We didn't waste nothing. And we give back to the country. I mean, I'll just tell you, for instance, a loggerhead sea turtle, they live over 100 years, and it takes a long time before they start having eggs. I'm not positive, 20, 30 years maybe. But when we would go and see them crawled up on the beach, we would wait for them to lay their eggs. And then when they crawled down to the shore, we called flipping it. We'd flip it over and cut its throat. But we would walk up, because a lot of times you'd shine the shoreline with a spotlight looking for them, and you could see all the little eyes, because the raccoons are up around it, waiting for them to leave where they could eat the eggs. Boom. We would go up there, there'd be 2 or 3 of us sometimes, and we'd pee around it. So that human scent would keep them coons from eating them eggs. So we take a turtle, we might be saving 10, 15 turtles by pissing around it where the coons couldn't eat it. So people can say, oh, you ate an endangered species. But yeah, we saved endangered species by doing that. And we also fed our families when you were sitting back at a dinner table eating steaks. Our family were mullet fishing for a living and praying that we had enough money to eat, and that's how we ate. This is a simple fact.
It was not an easy life out here.
And that's why we got into marijuana smuggling, is because when the national park took over, they stopped it. They stopped it. No more commercial fishing. What are we going to do? We're going to feed our family. Didn't say it was right or wrong. Well, now, today, if they called us smuggling, they'd give us a pack of rolling papers. It's about legal everywhere now. I was drunk all night long, hunting, daylight come, and I shot at a palm frond. I thought it was a deer. Then when I shot, I figured it wasn't, and I looked over, a big old buck was running out. We're gonna get wet.
We're gonna get wet. It's raining. All right, it's raining. We got the gear. You got that hidden? All right. Oh boy, it is raining hard on us now, Steve.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a little.
This is how we roll out here.
I'm gonna get back where we was at and stop, let this rain go over. Believe me, it ain't no fun to get wet out here.
But you love this, don't you?
I do, but it ain't no fun to get rained on. I'm just a little wet now, but you get soaking wet, it gets cold.
Well, Steve, I'd rank that about an A+ tour.
Did you enjoy that?
Well, yeah.
I did too. I always enjoy them.
Oh.
Oh.
There you go. So, Steve, these storms pop up pretty fast out here.
Well, that's the reason in the summertime,
Yeah.
I only do one tour in the morning because of this. Because if you do a tour in the summer, rainy season, if you do a tour in the afternoons, you're gonna get wet. And then people want their money back, and it's light, and then whenever I send them their money back, it takes 2 or 3 weeks to get it back, and they're not happy, so they leave me a bad review after about 3 days before they get their money. And then whenever they get their money back from the company, Fair Harbor, that I deal with, in 3 weeks, then they don't go back and leave a review saying, oh, Steve did pay me, it wasn't his fault, it was the company's fault. Well, look at that sun peeking through them clouds.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Look at it.
Captain Steve's sunset tours.
You don't see that in the city for some reason, do you?
Nope. Is there ever a bad sunset out here?
No. Never. Let me tell you something. My kids, when they were growing up, they had 3-wheelers, and they spent, I couldn't tell you how many nights we spent out here. Every weekend we were out here camping, every weekend. And them boys of mine would ride all night long. And I was married to Randy. We'd get up early in the morning, stoke the big fire up, and she'd cook everybody breakfast. When we would leave, we was living out here in Copeland. When we would go to pack up the swamp buggy to leave, and the boys were getting all the 3-wheelers ready, we would have 3 and 4 kids from the neighborhood. Captain Steve, Mr. Steve, we want to go. Can we go? I go, I tell you what, go to your mom and dad and get anything, a pack of hot dogs, a 12-pack of sodas, a loaf of bread, whatever you can get, bring it. And they would always come and bring something, you know. And I would take them. I'd load the buggy up. Kids would be hanging off the buggy, and we would go. And they had a ball. My boys load them all up on 3-wheelers and ride. The kids, we never spent a dull weekend. Never. I miss it. It ain't fun growing old. It ain't fun. And then when you hear you got Alzheimer's disease, that sucks. I thought I had another 20 years left. I figured I got another 20 years. I'm gonna see my daughter's baby. I'm gonna get to play with it. My kids, I'm gonna watch them grow older. They're in their 40s now. I don't know. Maybe it'll take a while before it starts really hitting me. But my kids will take care of me. I don't want them to. I don't want my kids to take care of me. I want them to take care of myself.
Sometimes people say, I want to be buried out here. I want my ashes.
I take people out all the time, their ashes. I do it for free. I don't charge people to take their family's ashes out and dump them. You know, I've had people call me all the time. Captain Steve, my dad, back in the 60s, spent all his time out here, and he always wanted to be buried out here. Do you do things like that? I go, I most certainly do. And I don't charge you, not a dime. We dig out a place off of the main road going in, Monroe Road. It's a big prairie, and out on it it's called Boot Hill. And people take their dads, granddads, whoever's boots, lace them and sling them up into pine trees and dump their ashes out there. And somebody had taken chicken wire. It's really neat. I got pictures of it. And made a man with a rifle with a hat on, sitting on a tree stand, and he's guarding all the graves out there. It looks real. You look off, it looks real. Somebody did a lot of work. A man sitting in a tree stand with the tree stand and everything, made out of chicken wire. Yeah, it's pretty.
Well, where do you want to be buried?
I say I got my son's ashes, and when I die, I want to be cremated and put with my son's ashes and dumped in the bay, Chekhovsky Bay. That's where I want to go. Me and my son together. Oh, we had a ball. I had a ball.
And that's you up here on the wall
That's me as a kid.
with your grandfather?
Well, I call him he's my dad. But he was my grandfather. My dad died when I was very young. And my grandparents adopted me. This is here I'll get a picture. This is my living room. I live here. Oh, where is that picture of my father? I don't know where all the pictures are at.
There's one under the TV that's got the boat, but that's not the one.
That's my great grandfather. I don't know. I got a picture of my dad here somewhere.
Yeah.
My middle son looks just like him. Acts just like him. Looks just like him. There it is. I gotta put that up. That's my dad.
Oh.
Leonard Shivers. I was named Leonard Shivers Jr. But when my grandmother and grandfather adopted me, they changed my name. Yeah, so yeah, he looks just like my middle son. It's weird how that happens, you know what I mean? My nephew said I look just like my cousin Dale, but since I lost all this weight.
Now, some people will say, I don't regret it. I would do it all over again.
No, they're wrong. They don't have they don't care. People that say that. Yeah, I've heard that saying, you're damn right, I'd do it again. Not me. I got 10 years away from my family, and I got to work till the rest of my life because I cheated the government every chance I got out of income taxes and Social Security. So now every month I get a little Social Security check. That's what I can't live off of it, so I got to work till I die. So if I would have stayed with the sheriff's department, I would have been retired 20 years ago, getting $4,000 or $5,000 a month retirement. Plus I'd get a big Social Security check. I could be traveling all over, not having to work. But if you go on my website or my Facebook page, Captain Steve Swamp Buggy Adventures, I always say I love my job. So they say you don't never work a day if you love what you're doing. So I love what you was seeing it last night.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. How can you, if some of my worst times, when I lost my son, I would wake up. Sometimes I still do, like have a dream about him or something, wake up. It felt like he's there, and break down and cry. And that's when my peace is going out to the swamps. And sometimes, like yesterday, I got some people from Maine. I think we talked about it. I don't know if it was on camera, but they come all the way down just to do my tour. And they said it was the best time of their life. Give me $200. I told you that, $200 tip. One of the biggest tips I've ever got. Which all the cash I'm saving, I got a lockbox in my safe. I'm saving for my handicap buggy. So that was good.
Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that report from America. So we've been to every state now, and we know so many great places that most people don't know about. If you're trying to figure out where you should move, I can help. Email me, and I'll tell you about how I can find you the perfect place for you to move to. And if you need a realtor, I can help you with that as well. No one else knows America more than Nick and Kim and Mappy. This is my email. You can also find it in the description or on the channel. Okay, so a lot of people email me and they comment and they say, where should I move, Nick? Well, I do consulting for that, as you know, but a lot of people want to do their own research. So I have published an ebook. That's right. Email me and I'll send you my comprehensive and always updated guide on the best places to move in each state. We're always traveling, so we're always updating the book. Find the best places to live in America from the people who have seen more of America than anyone else. That's true. Google it. And don't forget to follow our main channel on YouTube. It's called Nick Johnson. We travel all over the country and show you a way of life in America that you've never seen before. We're the most traveled channel on YouTube now. You should check it out.